Okay, anyone have any questions? Okay. Mr. Charlie? Gus, what quiz do you have?
Have received,
Quiz T. Go, tell me which one.
number one, how does it maximize the number of workers? And is it just maximizing profit?
That's the answer. The answer is D, maximizing profit.
I thought the answer was C on this.
All right, so that makes sense to you now? Okay, go. Do you have another one, or is that it?
I think that's.
Anyone else? Any questions on the, yes, Robert?
I had 5 and 9 on the quiz,
Okay,
and I was just confused, like, because I haven't got
Let's-
this problem.
okay. So 5, what is the relevant labor? When the relevant labor supply curve is S1. And the all right, so we're at equilibrium W1, S1, right? Okay, so the wages W1A makes sense, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the opportunity cost of leisure, meaning if I decide not to work, it's whatever that wage is. So that's why B is correct. And the value of the marginal product of labor is W1 because D is VMPL and they're like equal at that, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, you said another one. I'm sorry.
It's number 9, it's also, it's like, I think I did the math.
Number 9. Oh, that's another one of those diagrams. All right, when the relevant is at T1. All right, all that was really asking you what's the wage at equilibrium. And it's W1, right? Do you know what I mean? Where supply and demand intersect.
I had them both right in this section.
Okay. All right. Charlie?
How would you find the marginal profit for the wage of that? How would you find?
Whatever the DMPL is minus the wages. So let's do, let's just do the first one, all right? So 200, the MPL is 200. The golf balls are 250 each, so it's 200 times 250, that'd be 500 minus 325.
So the value of marginal, or the value of marginal profit today will be 500.
Right,
Okay.
minus the wages, your profit.
I like, for some reason, put the value in the marginal profit. And that.
You understand it?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. I'll be here Wednesday or Thursday morning if you want to do redos. If for whatever reason, somehow, you have banned or something, just email me and we'll figure out a neutral time that we can meet to do the redos. Okay. Okay. Nothing else on the quiz? All right. And by the way, just like, I think it's a huge advantage to do the charts on the practice quiz because they were the same charts, which they're not going to be in the redo because I ran out of those chart questions. But I also don't know, was it easier to follow when I went from 2 tests and I didn't have to, huh? It was harder?
Well, it was harder, it just took longer.
It took longer. Because for some reason, also after every answer, there has to be like 5 minutes of talking, which
I think we just did options take the same test. Or same quiz.
what do you mean?
Like that way, just saves time at the end and we just read through and then we are.
What do you think I don't do that?
So we don't like, I guess. Well, like we have integrity, so we would.
Yeah. No one's ever gonna. Just like ask us.
It's not time, it's no time machine,
Oh, yeah.
only 12 minutes, right?
Oh, I'm on to a couple of guys cheating.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So they just sold it back to them.
I mean, it's hard to catch. Like, it's hard for me to say to Tommy, I saw you looking at Mike's paper. Do you know, and by the way, in the last 3 tests, everything that Mike got wrong, you got wrong. I mean, that's a hard thing for me to say. Because it could just happen. Most of you get the same ones wrong. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, I don't know. I agree. I should be able to do it. It would make life easier. All right, the redo before school Wednesday and Thursday. All right, the midterm is going to probably have 55 multiple choice. And the reason is that there's like 4 or 5 questions that we're not going to get to cover. That's typically on it. There are going to be 4 or 5 questions in the practice that, like, about marginal social benefits and so that you're not going to get because we're not going to get there. So, and it's going to be 3 FRQs. All right, this is the same midterm I gave out last year. So I think it's fairly in its difficulty. If you're a time pressured guy, I take 10 and give myself like 9 minutes. That's less time I'm going to give you, but I think I'll give you practice on the timing. Yes, Jay.
You said do 10 questions in 9 minutes?
Yeah, because I'm going to give you 11 minutes. So get yourself used to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Practice at a faster pace.
Yeah.
Because there's no, if you don't get them right, there's no penalty.
You
Yeah.
said there's gonna be like 3 or 4 questions that we don't know how to do?
No, there was 60. I made it 55.
Oh.
But on that, there might be, because I didn't cross out the ones you
So
did.
should we just not do them?
Yeah.
The 3 FRQs, does that mean like A, B, C, and D? Or does that
No,
mean-
that means 3 separate.
Um,
So one, and I'll try to get you like a practice. I'll get like last year's FRQs too. One that should take you 25 minutes, that normally I give you like 12 minutes in class and you do. And then 2 others that should take, usually there's no time pressure on the FRQ. Okay. And I also, I'm gonna grade them differently than I proposed. If you would have got, if you get a 5, I'm just gonna give you an 8. All right, and a 5 could be like 80% or 78%. What's an A in our school? 93. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you would have got something like if you get. So the curve will be bigger. What did I say? It'd be 8% or 10%? Yeah, it'll be bigger than that. Okay. Because I feel if you got a 5, I mean, that's how the College Board says the 5's an A, 4's a B, 3's a C.
What if you do a high 4 though?
Yeah.
So you still get
I'll
like,
give you a high B.
oh, okay, you're base now.
So what's a B?
Like 85 to like get 88.
So say like you got 77, which would probably be like a cutoff. Right, I'd probably give you like 88, 89, and 90. You know what I mean, like something. You're getting, I'm thinking the curve, huh?
It's like, if you like the kid, you'll probably give them 1 or 2.
No. Has nothing to do, otherwise you'd be getting zeros on every quiz. All right, I don't know, has anyone looked at this ultimate review guide? It's in your study. I'm just gonna open it up and show it to you for a second, because I think it's really, and I'm just skipping through because the first section is macro, but it's kind of like this. It asks you terms to identify, it then gives you graphs and problems, and it does each unit. Now, if you,
Questions are there?
huh?
How many questions?
What do you mean?
On the entire thing? How many questions? How is it built?
I don't know, because it's unit by unit. But I also know if you continue to scroll through, there's an answer section on the below. There's also 2 practice micro exams. All right, now, it's written by, like, it'd be written like by another teacher. The guy who made this is not like, but he worked for College Board for like 10 years. So I think it's a pretty good sample of it. I would just go unit at a time. The units that are the heaviest are units 2 and 3, which is supply and demand in the product markets. They are the heaviest tested. So those are the ones I'd want to become really good at. And if you just keep going over this, I think it would help. So I'm just putting there. You voted no more quizzes, right? Because we voted against 19. So truthfully, I'm not going to give you any more like assignments. So all you could focus on is getting ready for the midterm. And we'll have some new materials today and a little tomorrow. And then after that, like there'll be no actual new learning. There'll be all review. Yes. Yes. You mean like today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is chapter 19 gonna be on exam?
Yes.
Or we're not? Is this chapter 19 right now?
No, this is stuff that he doesn't cover. Drip your hand up.
Is it back during next semester?
Next semester.
We're done like that after this.
Huh?
We're done with the information on that after this.
No, when we come back, we have 2 more weeks of micro. I just didn't want to jam in, like I could really jam, I could have jammed it all in, but I don't want to do it.
On average, what do you think?
I'm gonna say you're gonna do better in macro.
Are we in like?
And here's what happens, truthfully, if you ask me, I think macro is harder. But I think that for some guys, it takes them a while to adjust to. So last year, I would say the kids who struggled on micro all passed the macro AP exam. And I think the reason is they kind of figured it out. And they came into macro with, it's a fresh start, you know, like my grade isn't like at a 68 where I'm fighting to get to a 70. My grade's at 0, so I could get a fresh start. And so I think that helped them a lot. But, you know, typically on the AP exam, I get about equal. I think macro's harder, but I do think because it's the second semester, people are better prepared.
When do we take the micro? You take it like.
Yeah, in like May.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense, right? To learn it now and take it in May, doesn't?
Not really.
The College Board thought it did.
It's like.
I emailed them and their big thing was, well, what would we test, micro or macro first? I said, whatever you test first, we'll teach first. It's College Board.
Makes sense to keep it in like. Soon.
Yeah, when you have a monopoly, you can do whatever you want. Okay, Nick.
Because they're price makers.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they are. They go way up to that demand curve.
Let us know whether we're not with the dog. Lord, thank you for gathering us in time. That was what I like in time. Then John, what he says, pray for us.
All right, take out a board, draw a monopolistically competitive firm in the long run.
Jack.
Come on. Leave the whiteboard there, offline.
No. Just a little at the beginning, a little at the end. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah.
want this to make money, lose money, let's get people. I don't wish that to be on.
All right, Jack, what do I have to do here to get monopolistic competition
Has to be on the whole.
on the price? Okay. I'm good? Right? Okay, great. Just keep your graph there and let's look at this multiple choice. Which of the following is true for a monopolistically competitive firm in the long run equilibrium? Give you a minute to look at this and come up with. If you're what?
Got another one.
Yeah, go on this thing.
Oh, right.
Look at your graph, is that true?
I mean, isn't that the definition that it would sit it right at the bottom?
No.
And it's.
Look at your graph. Is C true? Okay, all right, so we don't know what normal profit is, right? All right, so let's move on. Is the price equal to marginal cost? Okay. No, because he has marginal cost and we're taking it up to demand, right? Is it allocatively efficient? No. Is it a price taker? No. Is it produced at the minimum? Here's the minimum average total cost, right? So we're not producing there. All right, so A is, and you said it, so it's a zero economic profit. So a lot of you might have forgot that, but when you look, if you use your graph to look at everything else is wrong. You might not have known what normal profit is, so I'd skip that and see what everything else is. Yeah, that's, you're not by yourself, that's why I want to. Okay, all right, next up, monopoly making money. Huh? I didn't say this.
Well, you kind of got like.
It's okay.
I wanted to draw a new graph.
Yeah. They're trying to get the most out of it. What's that making? Very easy about the best. Yeah. All right. All right, there is my graph, it's MC equals MR up to price. I take the same profit maximizer down to the ATC. The green is my profit maximizing. MC equals MR up to demand, down the demand curve, down the MC. That is my deadweight loss. All right, hold your graph. Here comes the next multiple choice question. A monopolist introduces a technological innovation that lowers the marginal cost and average cost of production. The price of the good and the level of output are most likely to change in which of the following ways? We did a minute to look at this. what's up on the screen. You could actually shift on the keyboard. They're the same. Right? Right. All right. Who's got A? Who's got A as an alpha? B as in broccoli. Couple of B's. C as in Caroline. D as in dogwood. Got a lot of dogwoods. E as in Ellen. All right, Robbie. Technology shifts what curve? Supply. So if it's what, how does it phrase here? Innovation that look. So which way am I shifting marginal cost? Because that's my supply curve here, right? Which way? Okay, I agree with you. I'm going to shift it right. For the price and quantity, Robbie, do I really have to shift my ATC? No. All right, so I shifted it right. I have a new MC equals MR, right? I take that down, my quantity increase, right? I then take this up to demand, price decrease, right? How come you had remained constant? Did you have remained constant for? What did you do wrong?
I was confused about the way we should.
Okay. Yeah, and matter of fact, in its way, I think they were trying to help you by saying MC goes down. But just think of it as technology shifts it right.
Why wouldn't the ATC shift if average cost of production is?
ATC would, but if they're asking you price and quantity, it doesn't matter. You're absolutely right. ATC would come like that, right? Yeah. Look at it.
It's a decrease in MC, wouldn't it be less? It's a decrease in supply,
What?
would it be? Less
No,
MC?
No, because lowering the marginal cost,
Other than billing.
right? When I lowered it, it is lowered. Okay? Any questions? All right. Besides that, a lot of you got these wrong. I wanted to use them because I think like using your graphs make the multiple choice questions easier. And I think those are two good examples of using your graphs. Any questions on either one? Okay. All right. Give you 2 minutes, talk to the person next to you, just go over these 4 things. We're into today's note sheet after this.
Yeah. But that's.
Labor market.
Oh, is. Marginal factor, would that just be what's the party?
What?
Would marginal factor cost be like wage, like
In
inputs?
perfect competition.
It's.
Any questions on any of these? You or your partner were not sure of? Justin?
Why is the MRP curve in the
Oh, because the MRP equals marginal productivity. and rather MRP, right, equals marginal productivity times price. So it's how much the workers bringing in, how much revenue the workers bringing in. It's kind of the value of the workers. What's it? So the marginal factor cost in MRC and MSC are the same thing. So in perfect competition, it's just wage. In non-perfect competition, which we'll get into tomorrow, it's change in total cost over change in input. An input is usually a worker, but it could be a machine or a robot or something like that.
Isn't that also the equation you could use to find MRC in perfect competition as well?
Yes, it works in both. Yes. That's a good point. Thank you. And MRP in perfect competition is MP times P. Here in both perfect and imperfect, change in total revenue over change in inputs. And those will come in more handy tomorrow when we talk about imperfect competition. Okay, anything else? We're good? All right, if you look at your, yes, sorry,
What's the final hash margin?
MRC equals MRP. Okay, is this chart on the front of your notes?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you a minute or two or three to try to figure this out. It's if you only have $35 and you have to use all 35, what combination of robots and workers will maximize output? Okay, anyone with a projection?
Oh, 2 robots and 3 workers.
Okay. Okay. Is there a way you figured that out?
Not really. Kind of like, not like what it's saying.
Because it hit 35.
And
Okay.
like,
Go.
it could have been like a third robot, so that's equal to 2 workers. And like 25 is bigger than 10, so that it has 2 workers and 1 robot.
Okay. All right. And his thing 2 and 3 works out. I want to show you like the formula. Anytime you see like this least cost or capital and workers, it's the marginal utility of labor over the price of labor equals the marginal utility of capital over the price of capital. And it's, if you remember the maximizing utility formula, it was kind of similar. So this is again, the marginal utility of labor, that's an L, over the price of labor is the marginal utility of capital over the price. So they gave me the marginal utility, and so I had to put it over the price. So it'd be like 30 divided by 10, 20 divided by 10, 10 divided by 10. And then here, I'd be dividing them all by 5. All right, and then I get my answers, right? So the first thing is, I'm looking for 3 to equal 3. But here, 1 robot, I'm spending $10, and 2 workers, I'm 2 times 5, I'm spending 10, only spending 20. So I know 3 is not the answer. All right, so then I'm gonna go down to the next one, 2. And 2, and here is, so 2 robots is 20, and then 3 workers is 15, so it would be 45. Okay? Which is what Oliver said. Questions? Evan, you good? All right, so when you're looking at these and you see the least cost, just think of that formula and that they have to match up. All right, boards again, couple of multiple choice, I think, coming up. Yes. Suppose that a firm begins to hire workers for a newly completed plant with a fixed amount of machinery. As the firm hires additional workers, one would expect the marginal product to. Huh? Good, correct. All right, boards, please. Got a lot of broccoli up front. We got broccoli all over. What gives A away is the event they run it. You know what I mean? Even if you thought as we did, so it's going to rise initially due to specialization and eventually fall. All right, next up, if a firm employs only labor and capital, there's that formula. Which of the following best describes the optimal combination of inputs for the firm in the long run? Fifteen more seconds. That's S, that's a snowman. All right, boards. I got some B's, I got some A's, I got A's. I think I'm dominated by A's, so. All right. The marginal product of labor, it's the marginal product of labor over the price of labor. So it's A, the marginal product per dollar spent. Okay. Questions on that? All right, back to your notes. Monopsony. Charlie, what's the monopsony gonna be? Oh, yes, you do. Think. Think. It is
monopoly with something else.
a monopoly in what?
In a labor market?
Yes. Good job. All right, so it's kind of like these situations. You're a nurse and there's only one hospital within, say, 100 miles. That hospital is kind of has a monopoly over the medical labor force. Or you're a factory worker and there's only one factory within 100 miles. All right, now I spent a year living in Mississippi. Walmart was in some of these small southern towns. They employed 95% of the people in the town. They had that monopsony. Now, who's gonna get this? Yes, sir. No. Should be marginal product. Thank you. Change that. Should be marginal product of both. We should start next season's blunders, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna like start, there's been about 5. At least, so I'll start at 7. All right, thank you, Brian. All right, now. How do you think wages are going to occur in this monopsony? Are wages to be greater than like a perfectly competitive market or less? Why? Okay, you can either work at my hospital if you're a nurse or not work, right? Doesn't. Oh, I thought you had your hand up, sorry. All right, so if you're looking again at perfect competition, anyone remember some of the characteristics without looking? That's right, wage takers. Yeah. Anyone else? Labor market. Labor. MP, okay. So, that's true. Many small firms, almost the same characteristics. Many workers with identical skills. Again, even though me and Oliver don't have identical skills, we both know we could put an apple pie in the fryer or the microwave. Today, McDonald's opened up on time. They had no food. I said to the lady, it's 6:20, you open at 6. She looked at me and she goes, I'm the only one here. Okay, what could I say? I'll take my Diet Coke and I'll just move on. No, I usually try to get an apple pie. They never have. Huh?
Like on the grill breakfast?
Yeah. All right. No. All right, workers are wage takers. All right, now we're going to the monopsony. Okay. One firm hiring workers, all right, like the hospital, like Walmart. Workers are relatively immobile, okay? Otherwise, the monopsony would work if you want to drive 200 miles to work in your hospital. Firm is wage maker, and as Nicholas said, they're going to make the wages lower. Okay. All right. Midwest, small town. I was stretching. NCAA. Okay. All right. See what we got here. All right. Here's quickly what I want to show you. And I can explain it like this way. If I'm the Walmart in a small southern town and I'm saying I'll pay $10 an hour. And I need 50 workers and Charlie's the only one who shows up. What am I gonna have to do to get more workers?
Start paying higher.
You're gonna have to increase wages. So every time you want to get more workers, you have to increase wages. So I'm just gonna put total cost here. So for the first worker, one worker took $450, the total cost is $450, $450 minus 0, the MRC is gonna be $450, right? Now, for the second worker, I got 2 workers, I gotta pay them both $5, like, even though I got Charlie for $450, I can't pay him $450 while I pay Oliver $5. So now my total cost is $10, 10 minus $450 is $550. Okay, for the third worker, $1650 is my total cost. And then, so as you could see, if I just stop here, we're in perfect competition. Remember, it was wage equals MRC equals supply. That is not working here, right? Because MRC is greater than wage.
How do you get 650? For the one before you did 10 minus 450, you get 550. So if you do 1650 minus 550.
No, minus 10. It's a change in total cost.
Oh, okay.
Change in total cost over change in input.
Okay.
All right, we will leave this tomorrow and we'll start with the monopsony graph. Have a wonderful day. I'm not free. I'm sorry. I was gonna hang out.
I know mine. They get 5 more dollars. Smart card, start out with that.
We got another one, that's it.
Yeah, it's like hard. Is that?
Bro, we have been here for a stag.
And,
Like, I actually don't remember enough. I actually gotta fill it.
probably would be doing anything, bro, in class.
No, I actually got something.
Oh, yes, seek is the means.
And then I gotta remember like the 5K.
Yeah, 5 pillars. Bro, it says right in the paragraph, I'm literally gonna bullet point it.
She'll probably
I'm like,
like, well,
Tara,
like, you
like,
can just
no,
like, ask me the points, right?
she gets it, bro.
Dude, what did you say on like the multiple choice since that? Okay, I couldn't know.
Yeah, you get it wrong. Bro, you be bad, bro, man. You're on the street. I know.
Did anyone know what it is? That's
Please, that's crazy. I got I didn't know we had to touch that. That's just something.
I didn't know.
That was good. How we doing now?
That was my favorite. Next way said my name was.
Yes, it's unusual, you did put your name on it. And you might also like put your name in, just like in your shirt.
I don't know if people just don't like ignore it at this point, like not ignore it, but like we're just ignore it.
You're right, I won't ignore it next time, I'll send you Mr. Mitchell.
This is.
We can tell you something. How much additional hours do you think that they're put out? Yeah, 30.
All right, check out your quiz from yesterday. We'll go over, if anyone has any questions.
We always, I'm not sure.
This every quiz a lot.
This is the heat check for you.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, Paul, right All right, anyone have any questions about the quiz yesterday? No one? Yes, Dimitri. All right, Dimitri, which quiz?
Quiz F, can we go over number 7, when it says like. Wills is a profit maximizer.
Yeah, so assuming Willis is a competitive prospect, how many workers? So if you look at like the fourth worker, that'd be the MPL would be 140, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean they're bringing in 3 and then times 250. The DMPL 140 times 250 is 350 minus the wage gives you a marginal profit still of 25. Are you good on that?
Yeah.
All right, now, if I go to the fifth worker, the MPL is 120, 800 minus 680. If I do 120 times 2.5, I get 300, and then minus the wage, I'm losing money. So I'm gonna stop at 4.
Okay.
Are you good?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hunter?
I'll start with F, number 2.
All right, so you're gonna hire as long as the BMP is 500 or greater, because you're gonna, anything less than 500, you would lose money. And BNPL equals wage, that would be the profit maximum.
So for
Hold on. Okay, the wage is 500, right?
Right, with that,
So the BNPL
right.
has to be 500 or greater, otherwise you're losing money. Like if you hired someone and they brought in 490, you'd be losing $10, right?
Right,
So you're not gonna hire them. So you'll hire equal or greater,
okay,
okay? Are you good now?
yeah, I got it.
Did you have a question?
you might need to explain this, but for number 1A, when it says that when a firm,
But are you on the F test?
yeah, C.
Okay, hold it. I gotta switch stuff. Okay. When a firm hires up to the point where the wage is equal to the,
Right, that's called maximum profit. But then for table 11-5, why would it not be one? When it's
What question?
C,
What question?
5. That was the answer to the 5.
Okay. So for 5 at 3. It's 600 is greater than 500, right?
Yeah. Okay. So
So there's no equal there. Right, because the next one's 400 KB.
Mhm.
So there's no equal, so the MPL is greater than or equal. Okay,
Yeah.
it's the closest you could get.
So I got the same question wrong. So like, I actually had put C. Is there a reason why C?
But which
For
one?
the same question, I mean.
C is the answer.
The answer, yeah, that's,
D is the answer?
yeah.
Wait, for quiz C, number 1 is C?
No,
Number 5.
number 5. All right, number 1.
One of the.
All right,
Yeah.
because still experiencing a positive profit is, and maximizing the number of workers it can hire is not, when a firm hires labor, it doesn't always maximize the number of firms that can hire and still experience a positive profit. It's because it could be equal and not make profit, but you're trying to maximize your profits.
Got it. So it's always gonna be maximized.
Yeah.
In whatever structure.
So online, it was just marked like the Scantron market, but I had these right answers. Really?
Yeah.
Is it really? I'm not doing my best grade.
Sorry to hear. Email me, John, I'll give you.
Yes.
I can't believe you accepted tough practice.
So I also had a question about number 5, so,
Which test? Okay,
for quick speed,
go.
why would why would 3 workers maximize the profit if the profit's only 100 when?
Okay, so worker 1 is bringing in how much?
500,
Worker 2. 300, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm making 800. Now I get an additional 100, now I'm making 900.
and then I also had a question on.
Sure.
Number 8 on C. Why was it like, I didn't.
Patrick, did you have the C test? Number 2. What is the marginal profit of the 6th worker? So the MP is 100, right, Cameron?
Yep.
And times 250, right? Because that's the price, right? So that's 250. And the wage is 325, so it's 250 minus 325.
I guess I just did it. Yeah, I just did the wrong one.
Okay, you good though? Anyone else? Yes, you does.
You go over like, let's see, you go over 10 and 11.
All right. At 10, they're saying if the relevant demand curve is D2 and the wage is W1, so we're at D2, but the wage is W1. So what happened is people need a lot of workers, but right now we don't have that many because we're at D1, we're at W1, so we have a shortage. So we have to raise the wages to get everyone to D2. And then it's the opposite for number 11.
Got it. In what circumstance would it be C, D, or E for us? Well, I don't know.
I don't think they would.
It would be.
I don't see like everything below A and B was just too hard to comprehend, so I just put. In the context of the question. I took the past the week was just.
Really good thing. Any other questions?
Can I ask you about the redo? Is it? Is
Yeah.
it? Is it, is it gonna be different charts on the?
But same concept.
Is it gonna be like the same like types of like, well, like obviously it's not gonna be the same like question, like you said, but like, is it gonna be like the same kind of like type of question for each question?
All right. Good. John, what are you working on?
I just email.
Huh?
I just email you, so I wouldn't forget.
Me?
Yeah.
So
I would totally do.
I'm
gonna totally do that.
gonna.
I'm not even opening up that email, John. All right, any other questions? So now, John, you had your best quiz ever.
That's quiz, world record.
Nice. All right. All right, so redos will be before school Wednesday or Thursday. If you cannot figure out how to get here Wednesday or Thursday morning, talk to me and we'll figure something out during the day. Because I'm doing the review for the midterm after school every day. Your midterm will be about 55 multiple choice questions. I think it's 55, 3 FRQs. All right, for those at AV, have you looked at the ultimate review guide yet? Okay. You're gonna wait till after the midterm? No, I ain't just giving you a hard time, AB. AB, today, we're gonna do a couple of things today with you in mind. You'll see. You'll notice as soon as we're doing it.
Mr. President,
That's me,
are the FRQs gonna be like,
as hard as I physically can make them. What were you gonna ask?
it's like, if they were, if they're gonna be as long as like the normal FRQs, like 8-step FRQs?
One is, and the other two will be shorter.
Okay.
You're not gonna, I don't think you'll be time pressured. If, I don't know, is that what you're trying to do? All right, here's what the ultimate review guide looks like. It gives you like room to define things. It gives you practice graphs. It gives you then like practice problems on the bottom there. It goes unit by unit. So the units that are the biggest on the midterm are units 2 and 3. All right, 1 and 4, there's questions, but units 2 and 3. So I would try to do a unit a night. Now, if I scroll down after this, like some more, there's the answers to all the things they asked you. Okay, so there's an answer sheet there. I don't know. It's like, if you're gonna print it out in school, get your,
109.
yeah, get your money's worth. But you don't even have to print it out. You could scroll down and answer the questions on a piece of paper and check them. They also, this is macro, but they have 2 practice micro exams on there. Okay, what you have in front of you that, let me just get this annoying thing on. What you have in front of you that I gave you